salmon. This they happen to have not plated up, put on a little plastic thing. Otherwise, you can just get it right out of the seafood case. And these looked beautiful. Okay, so we're going to use some sun-dried tomatoes, some pine nuts, which I did toast. I just put them back in the jar. Some sliced black olives and some feta. And I chose the feta with the tomato and basil. And yes, if you don't like the feta, you can leave it off. I knew that question was coming. Okay, here I have the dill, the lemon pepper, and a little salt, which I'm mixing up. And we're just going to kind of sprinkle that on top of that. That's probably good enough. That called for 4. Okay, we'll do our sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to chop these up a little bit. And I have the sun-dried tomatoes in oil, which is fine. Chop a few of these up. I think they've been down there working on redoing our specialty food aisle, so when I went down there to look to see what I needed, they had them all torn up. So I haven't been back down there this afternoon to see what they've been doing. All right, so there's a little sun-dried tomato that we're going to put on top of our salmon. This smells good. All right, our black olives. This is, I think, going to be a really nice presentation piece because it'll be all pretty when you bake it. You can serve this to company. All right, some.
How did you toast the pine nuts? In the oven?
Actually, I put them in a frying pan and just sort of heated them. I'll show you what they started to look like toasted. A lot of times I will just put them in the oven. You can see here, maybe, see how they're just sort of brown on one side? Sometimes both sides. But I just stuck them in a frying pan and turned it on and just kind of watched it till they got a little bit toasted. These, actually, I did find these in the specialty aisle. They do have some, I believe, in produce. They are a little bit on the expensive side, so that's a choice that you can make about whether you want to use them. I think it adds something to it, but I think this jar was $5. So I don't know why pine nuts are so expensive. It must be little pine nut tree. I don't know. Okay, so we're just going to wrap this up. Do we have everything in there? Well, if I'm looking at the right recipe. Yes, we got the salmon, the lemon pepper, the dill, the salt, the sun-dried tomatoes, the black olives, the feta, and the pine nuts. Just kind of fold it down, make sure it's all sealed. Now this is a good way to do it. When I made your samples, because I was making, so much, I put them on a baking sheet and just covered, did the same thing, but covered the whole thing in foil and stuck it in the oven. And I think they came out just fine. But if, like I said, if you're inclined to throw these on the grill, that's wonderful. You're not heating up your kitchen. Okay, there's our 2 little packets. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in. Good. And of course, if you're cooking like this, you want to make sure that you're careful when you're opening this, so you don't get burnt with the steam. I'm going to take a peek. Oh, ooh, this looks beautiful. Okay. Boy, it really got that tight. Okay. And there is our, and you can serve this right on the plate like that. Wow. And again, you can check it with your fork. And And if you can stick your fork in there and kind of flake it really easy, it's ready. So that makes a nice, really, really pretty presentation. So there's our Mediterranean salmon. I'll open this one too. Okay. Really pretty.